Hey guys, SJ from IgnoreLimits.com here. Today I just want to talk to you guys about how to increase vascularity. And when I'm talking about vascularity, I'm talking about the presence of superficial veins, for example, bicep, forearm, shoulder veins, abdominal veins, things like that, guys. So first of all, the number one misconception most people have is that vascularity comes down to genetics. Now, genetics do play a part in vascularity. Some people just have their blood vessels, etc., closer to the surface of their skin. Other people, it's more predominant. That is a genetic thing, yes. But also, basically, anyone can take certain steps and do certain things to increase their vascularity, regardless of their genetics, guys. So that's the thing. There's no excuse if you don't think you can get vascularity. If you follow these steps, I can guarantee you will get some level of vascularity at least. Okay, so now, understanding superficial vascularity. So without going in depth completely into this, there are certain veins that do show more than others. So, for example, if we have a look here, going down here, that's a cephalic vein that goes down your shoulder, down your bicep, and splits off into your forearms. So predominantly, that's one of the first sort of veins you'll get. Then you start to get the like the spider webbing on the shoulders, and then eventually you get the abdominal veins coming through here as well, guys. So that's the next step, and then you get sort of oblique veins, more forearm veins, quads, etc., which I don't have yet. But that's my understanding. That's my own take on the progression of increased vascularity, and as you implement these steps, how it will start to appear for you guys. So, how can you increase your vascularity? Number one is lose fat. So obviously, just like abs, veins, everyone has them. If you've got a layer of fat over them, though, you're not going to see them, guys. So the more fat you lose, the more vascular you're going to become. So ideally, you want to be in the 10% below single digits to really show off that vascularity. Which brings us onto our next one. Step 2 for increasing vascularity is building more muscle mass. So the more muscle mass you have, as your muscle size increases due to stress, etc., and your lifting regime, more oxygen nutrients need to be fed through to the muscles to keep them fed, to keep them pumping. And that's achieved by a natural increase in blood flow and veins, essentially, guys. So lift heavy. If you're struggling to put on lean muscle mass, you want to lift in a 4 to 6 rep range, I would recommend, and focus on your heavy compound exercises such as your squat, your bench, your deadlift, your overhead press. Most people think, to get bicep veins, you do bicep curls. So that's completely wrong. Like I said, body fat, lean muscle mass, lift heavy, put on more mass, lose fat, and we'll move on to the next steps as well. Alright, so this is a big one, guys. So step number 3 is decreasing water retention. So basically, the layer between your muscles and your skin holds not only fat, but also water as well. So this is known as water retention. So the layer between the skin and the muscle, water is held between there. And the less water you're holding on your skin, obviously, the more pronounced your vascularity will be. So for example, during competitions, etc., bodybuilders dry themselves out. By drying themselves out, it looks like the skin is sucking closer onto the muscle. The vascularity is increased. Obviously, it just gives that edge in competition, guys. So there's a couple of ways to go about reducing the amount of water your body is holding. The first is to drink a large amount of water. So for 3 to 4 days, you want to be taking 5, 6, 7 liters, so like a gallon of water a day or a couple of gallons of water a day. So that'll put your body into what's called like a flushing state. So the water will start going through and through your body, will just drain it out. And then in the last day or 2, you want to cut your water consumption as much as possible. So that will, your body will keep flushing it out because it hasn't caught up on what you're doing yet. And then you'll end up with that sort of dry hard look. So less water between the muscle and the skin, increasing vascularity, guys. The second step is with supplements. Sorry, the second way to induce that reduced water retention is through supplements and diuretics, which is something I'll talk about in a second. It's also worth noting that your sodium intake, so the amount of salt you're having, plays a role into how much water you're holding as well, guys. So consume less sodium and you'll hold less water. That's quite simple. There's a ton of sodium in things, guys. I mean, recommended daily intake, 1 teaspoon of like table salt is in the very, very high end of your recommended daily intake of sodium. So if you really do want to get that vascularity, you need to cut out any additional salt on things, and also just look at the labels of things, guys. Like, for example, protein powder has quite a lot of sodium in it, as will most other pre-packaged foods that you buy. So if you're really serious about the vascularity, you need to decrease that as much as possible, or at least for the event you're training for, competition, etc. Before the end, you want to cut out that sodium. Okay, so the next thing is increasing body temperature. So the extreme heat, like in extreme heat, so in summer, etc., to prevent our body from overheating, it has its own little defense mechanism, which is pushing blood towards the surface of your skin to prevent damage, overheating of your internal organs, etc. So obviously when it's hot, it's obviously hot at the moment, your veins will become a lot more prominent. So for example, in summer, or if you've just got out the shower, something like that, you notice you are a lot more vascular, and the veins you already had are a lot more defined as well. Okay, so a good example of when this is used, or a trick used with this, is bodybuilders before competition. Quite often before they step on stage or before their photo shoot, they'll actually get a hairdryer and hold that on their muscles, predominantly over veins and things as well, guys. So they'll get them popping out that bit more, only for 10 minutes or so, but it does give a very increased look of vascularity due to the immense heat there. All right, now the next one, guys, this is quite strange. Age increases vascularity. I don't have any scientific facts or anything to back this one up, but if you look at older people, they are noticeably more vascular, especially if you look, say, for example, if you took two people, same muscle mass, same body fat, same weight, and one was 20 years old, one was 40 years old, I can guarantee you the 40-year-old will have a lot more predominant vascularity than the younger guy, regardless that they're the same size, etc. Alright, so now, diuretics and supplements. So if you've read my books, you've looked at ignorelimits.com, my blog posts, etc., you'll know I'm not big on supplements at all. That said, there are a few supplements out there that can help increase your vascularity. These include L-arginine, L-citrulline, vitamin C and garlic in a combo, because that increases your nitric oxide levels, NO2, and also beet juice as well. So it's not really a supplement, but I believe you can get capsules of that, or you can actually just blend up some beetroot into a juice. Also, like if you want to drink before a photo shoot, a double espresso will also give you that increased vascularity as well, guys. So that's something I've used before too. So in summary, lowering your body fat into single digits and maintaining a solid amount of lean muscle mass as you do. So don't just try and lose all the weight you can and eat a crash diet because you lose too much muscle mass. Then you won't have that vascularity either. So yeah, just by increasing mass and losing fat, you will have quite a bit more vascularity. If you do want to take it to the next level, you have to eliminate the amount of water you're doing, so decrease that water retention between the skin and the muscle. And also, yeah, so if you want to do other tricks as well, like playing around with heat in terms of hair dryers and things like that, you can do that as well, guys. Supplementation as well, like I said. The main ones are the muscle mass and losing fat. Once you're lean, though, water retention supplementation can make a big difference then, but if you're not 10% or below already, I wouldn't recommend messing around with those. It'll be a waste of time for you. Yeah, so that's how to increase vascularity, guys. Hope you like this. Check out the blog, ignorelimits.com. Links to the written article and supplements I recommended are below. Thanks.